Let's start off with the bolster behind us. And we're going to take a couple of nice restorative poses to get our body started. So go ahead and just head up and over back onto the bolster. Pull that heart space for a chance to just spread open nice and wide. The blocks don't have to be super close, but just they're here. So as we're beginning here, connect with a couple of really good deep breaths. Which is a really good breaths. Flow in. Out. And the whole goal of today's class is presence. Returning to our body, returning to our breath, returning to this present moment over and over and over again. So much of our time, I feel like, is lived outside of this present moment. We're stressing about what's coming up and what's the next thing I have to do, or we're stuck in the past. And so today's class, we're trying to just be in this present moment. Sometimes there's big things, big emotions, big feelings going on, big sensations. So the idea is to feel into any of that. Is we get into the hip, for instance. What feeling goes on in the hip? And before we switch sides, when the body's out of balance, maybe there's something that the body wants to teach you about being out of balance and what that feels like. So we can spend less time there the rest of the day. So just listen to this present moment. I'll use that word return as we go through class. And each time I use that word, just try to return back to the body over and over. And so here as we're beginning, let's start off just moving gently into the arms, feeling the sensation there. So we'll have backs of hands or at least backs of fingers on the ground. As we take our inhale, keep the backs of the hand on the ground, slide the hands up toward the shoulder joint or maybe even overhead, and exhale, slide the hands back. Because the heart is lifted like this, that's a nice expansive shape for the shoulders. So don't feel like you're having to rush it. It's just a nice slow inhale to rise. And exhale to bring it right back down. Good. Let's take 3 more cycles of breath. Nice and present, no sense of rush. Two. And 1. Beautiful. So with these shoulders much more open, just take a moment to return to the body. Feel how that expansiveness affects the mood, affects the emotions, the sensations. And we'll start working our way up to a seated place. Lift the head, find the hands on the ground, press up. And we'll take a nice twist. So slide the feet in, tilt the knees to the right or toward front or side. With the right hip touching the bolster, we'll plant a hand on each side of bolster, twist the sternum down and lower sternum onto the bolster. So you get to choose which direction the ear is down, which direction the head is facing. And just feel sensation going on here. I love taking twists, especially early in class, because many of the motions as we go through our day has the spine stuck more or less in the same shape. So twisting really opens up really good just emotions, the good sensations, new things coming up. So if this twist feels amazing exactly as it is, you don't have to move anything from here. I'll start adding a couple of options to explore for a little while. So this first option now is that the top leg, that left leg, straightens out in front of you, and you use the left hand, maybe around the thigh, maybe around the calf, or maybe reaching for the foot, to start adding sensation up that hamstring area. Nice extension. Another breath just to return to presence. Good. So the knees come. And by the way, this is just another option. So if you want to stay, that's fine. The second option would be knees come back to the stacked shape, but then the top leg, that left one, traces backwards past where that right foot is. So this helps to pull the spine to a slightly different variation of the twist. It increases it by pulling that hip more open. A couple of breaths here. So if you didn't take that last variation, start to come into that shape, that left leg pulling back just a bit. All of us will come up to a seated position. So find the hands on the floor, press up. The legs are in this pinwheel shape and we'll face forward. And then we're heading backwards into a quad stretch for this left thigh. So hands plant on the floor. If you need to just stay up on an elbow, that's fine. If you feel comfortable laying all the way back onto bolster, that would be beautiful. And if you don't feel that sensation in the left thigh, the way that we can increase that quad stretch is scooping the hips under. Scoop that tailbone under. That tiniest little bit of lift brings that quad directly into the stretch. The knee is having issues. It doesn't like this. Just slide that left knee further to the right. That'll help take some sensation out. But just like I promised, we're using that code word today, return. So return to your body, return to emotions and sensations, even return to the breath, so that we can really fully embody this moment. Another beautiful deep inhale. Nice exhale. Then from here, we're working our way back up gently to a seated position. The easier option here is leaning over this right thigh direction. That'll be a bit easier. Walking the elbows to be more facing forward is a bit easier. So choose the angle to lean forward. Sometimes it's nice to take one of those blocks and just lean the forehead onto it. Occasionally, there's people who can rest the forehead all the way to the ground. So choose what feels good here. More deep inhale. Easy exhale. Walk the hands in. Before we unwind the legs, we're taking 3 cycles of twisting. So twist back behind you. Allow the left hip to lift just a little bit. And face back forward. Let's take 2. And turn. 1 more. Beautiful. So then both legs are free out in front of us. Let's let the knees bend a couple of times, just back and forth, back and forth. Good. We're going to take a forward fold. It might be still good to have the blocks in front of us. So one block would be in between the knees, the other block stacking on top, and that'll be just kind of a little group to rest your forehead onto. So then from there, when you're ready to rest, lengthen the spine up and start to tilt forward, adding more sensations up the hamstrings. Back stretch, feel the neck resting. It's okay if the knees are a bit bent here. And by the way, if this angle is not quite what you want, you can change the height of blocks or move them all together. We'll be here just a couple more breaths. If you wanted to lengthen through the low back and tilt just a bit deeper, you're welcome to find that expression. One more deep breath. Try to return to presence. Good. Gently rise up. Shift the blocks away for a moment, and let's start all of that on the second side. So slide the knees in. Tilt the knees over to left this time. Spin all the way around. Lower the sternum onto bolster. Listen to which ear should be down, resting. Feel how the low back is in this experience right now. Starting to add an option one, if you like it, the top leg, that right one straightens out in front of us. Maybe the right hand slides any amount down toward the foot. Hoping to find length through hamstring, maybe even a nice stretch through shoulder. If you want to stay, that's fine. If you want to take the second option, that right knee comes back to a stacked place and then pulls backwards. So hands slide in, we press up, the legs are in that pinball shape as we face forward. This time it's right thigh quad stretch, so start heading backwards. Remember, if you make it all the way down and the quad's still not quite where you want it, scoop the tailbone under. And then again, I invite you to return. Last deep breath here. Nice inhale. Exhale. Work the hands underneath us. Start to rise. It's the 3 twisting motions. So twist over to the left. And back. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Easier would be the lean toward the angle of the left side, slightly more is to lean toward the center of mat. Breath, returning to presence. Nice exhale. And we gently rise. Bring the legs out in front. Maybe a couple of bouncing knee motions. And then this time open the legs out wide. You like to have the blocks out in front as something to rest forehead onto, or even elbows onto, that would be fine. If you prefer not, that's also fine. From the place that feels good, just easing into this present moment. There's a quote that talks about the present moment being a gift, and that's why it's called the present. And I think one of the tasks of life is to learn to really open up that present, to be with it, not stress so much about things that are outside of the control. Three more breaths, just finding presence right here. So then when you start to rise back up, scoop bolster off to the side for now. Let's swing our legs underneath the body. And then these blocks in front of us are set up at a nice medium height, a little bit wider than shoulders. We're keeping the hips over the knees for puppy, and then walking the hands on the floor in front of the blocks so that you can lower elbows directly onto those blocks. Allow the forehead to rest down and continue that arching shape as the heart just magnetizes itself to the earth. Feel that back space open, especially delicious after forward folds. And try to relax some of those muscles around the shoulders. Returning to presence, 3 more breaths. After that third breath, rock some of your weight forward until fingers can find the floor again. So gently rising out, blocks scooting off to the sides. Let's take 3 nice sets of cat cows. Spine gently rounding up and gently drooping down. A sense of rush, 2. And 1. Right arm reaches up to sky. That right wrist does a full circle clockwise, a full circle counterclockwise, and then thread that right shoulder all the way to ground. It may be nice for where we're heading just to leave that left hand where it is. If it takes another shape, another position, it'll just add another degree of difficulty. So you can stay here, or left leg starts to slide, toes at the back of the mat. An option to float that foot, a little balance challenge. Inhale, exhale, get the toes lifted, they lower, the knee lowers, and then we unwind to this right shoulder, reach the right arm back up to sky, and then right shoulder hovers level with the ground, left foot lifts, we try to grab the right hand to that left foot, and lift up. Opening that shoulder in a new way. More good inhale. Exhale. Release. Hands and knees to the floor. 3 sets of cat cow. Round up. And then down. 2. And 1. Good. Neutral spine, left hand reaches up to sky, a full circle clockwise, and count. Thread that shoulder all the way down and through. Perhaps right hand stays. Option to send right toes to back of mat. Option to float right leg. Turn toes, return knee. Start to unwind. Briefly reach left hand up to sky. Then as we bring that arm level, parallel to floor, lift the right leg up. That hand tries to find the toes, and then there's a lift back. Inhale. Exhale, release. Sink the hips back for a moment to child pose. The hips are welcome to be rocking here if that feels nice for low back. You may find that you feel ready for down dog. Start to tuck the toes, lift the hips. That nice reach up. Beautiful inhale. Exhale. To travel the feet up toward top of mat. Inhale to rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands down to heart. Big toes close, heels slightly separated. Sink the hips back, fierce pose. Arms up by the ears. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart, float the right knee, and then send it back, warrior 3, arms airplane, or stretching back up by ears. More inhale. Exhale, land that foot at back of mat, warrior 1, arms to flat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale to warrior 2. Straightening the front leg. Triangle. Reach that left hand forward to drop it to shin. Right hand continues to stack all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, rising back up, soften the front knee into bend. From there, cartwheel the hands down to either side of the front foot, pop them up to back toes. Right hand stays on the ground, left hand twists up to side. You're gonna pull left hand down, right knee down. This front leg straightens, and we lean forward into half splits. Rising up, left foot plants, the left side, it's a kind of a 90-degree angle to that side. Then sink your weight directly over that leg. Cool. Rising up. A new orientation for the hips. Slide the bolster up to you. Place the knee onto the bolster. And we'll slide up to half dog pose. Nice and padded for the knee. More breaths, just returning to presence. So as we come back onto the mat, if there's a recovery moment that you need, like a cat-cow or a child pose, feel free to add some motion to the body. Eventually coming up to down dog or taking a flow when you feel ready. Take our way back up to top of mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands down to heart. Big toes close for fierce pose. Sit back. Swing the arms up by ears. Breath flowing. Presence even in the challenges. More inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise, hands to heart, focus left knee. Take that leg back, warrior three. Softly land, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, open, warrior two. Leg straightens. Reach forward to drop. Right hand, right shin, triangle. Left hand stacks. And rising up, the front knee takes a softly bent shape. Then cartwheel the hands down to the ground, pop up on the back toes. Right hand lifts up to sky. Inhale. Exhale, hand down, left knee down. Half splits, front leg straightens. Lean over that side. Then this right foot starts to work its way off to the right side, a nice bent shape. And then sink your weight more over that foot. Hands can be up, down, whatever feels steady. Inhale. Exhale, weight comes back. Slide the bolster in. Then use that to take our nice half dog. Beautiful inhale. Exhale. One more cycle. Stay present. Up to the hands. Return onto mat. Take a recovery moment again. Be hip circles. Cat-cow. Or even just a flow. From down dog, right leg lifts up to sky. Feel it reach high. And then take that right knee to nose, or plank. Extend it back up. And knee to nose. One more time like that. Reach. Knee to nose. Extend back up. And take the knee underneath you into pigeon pose. Moment to stay lifted. Option to grab left hand to left toes. Maybe inching it closer to mermaid, your choice. Breathing one more cycle here. Exhale, releasing to sleeping pigeon. More beautiful inhale here. Left exhale. As we come up to hands, purposely rock your right hip to the ground. You're facing toward that left long edge of the mat. Long left leg, right foot tucked in. And so the left hand slides down the left leg, the right hand is up in the head. That elbow continues to lift up to sky as you lean over. Beautiful. Rising up. As we face our hands to plant back on the mat, those back toes stay planted. This front foot plants like the lunge shape. Back heel can drop down. We circle up to warrior one. So right foot is forward. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. This time extended side angle. Right elbow to right thigh, reach forward. Warrior two. And reverse, reaching back. Warrior two. Start lowering down to half moon pose. This left-handed foot drop down, forward fold. Next inhale to rise, all the way up. And hands down to heart. Quad stretch for left hand and left foot connecting. So make sure that you feel the quad stretch. Knee pulls back a little bit or tailbone scoops under. You're welcome to stay here with balance, or perhaps take this variation of half moon. Those right fingers finding the floor or the block. Good. Either release to rise or try to rise back up with balance. Good. From here with feet planted, circle arms up to sky. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step, walk, or jump back. Optional flow if you'd like. Ending up with downward facing dog. So left leg floats to sky, three-legged dog. Left knee to nose. Reach back up. Repeat 2. And reach. 1. Extension, three-legged dog. And then leg underneath you. Stay lifted. Option to take right hand to right foot if you'd like. Maybe some practice toward mermaid. Release down to sleep. If it feels like we've lost the connection with the present moment, use this next couple of breaths to help you return. How does the body feel? What emotions feel like they're flooding through? Inhale. With our exhale, we rock weight onto left hip. We're taking that Janu Shirshasana to the right. So right hand slides down right leg, left hand can be behind the head and just tilt that elbow up. Inhale. Exhale, rise. So we're planting the hands back to mat. We're going to work that left foot up to the top. Back heel down, warrior 1, straight back. Inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Extended side angle. Rise to reverse. Good. Warrior 2. Cartwheeling down to half moon. That right side lifting nice and high. You're doing okay. Yeah, you look good. Beautiful. Hand and foot drop down. All right. Hands down to heart. So then quad stretch, right hand to right foot. Maybe tailbone scoop center. Option if you'd like to try to tilt back down toward half moon, having that connection. Beautiful. Rise. Feet are on the floor. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, travel back. Last optional flow. Beautiful. So we'll transition to the right foot forward in between hands again. This can be done from kneeling or from that down dog shape. Right foot's up toward top of mat. This one could be nice to get both of the blocks under the hands. And we're going to take a moment to play with splits. So you get to choose how deep you take it. Staying in an easy half splits is fine. One way that I love to do when I have two blocks is slide a block right under my thigh so I can sit on it. The other one's like a cane for balance. So if you like that, that's great. Even a smaller height of the block is fine. Just playing with it in any other way is also beautiful. Good. We'll be here about 3 really slow breaths. Try to remain conscious, remain connected. Let's take a nice recovery moment. Sometimes it's nice to shake the right leg out. Sometimes it's nice to do nice hip circles, so give it a moment. And feel what's arisen in the body because of that deep stretch. Things opening up in nice ways. Good. So again, for the second side, you can transition there from kneeling or from down dog, but we end up with left foot forward. You can stay as an easy half split. Scoop forward any amount, maybe resting on block, maybe not. About 3 more slow connected breaths. Return to the sun. Finishes. The recovery pose again, whatever that looks like for your body. Eventually we'll make our way to a seated place with the legs out in front. So just leave left leg for a moment, right leg we're giving it a baby cradle. So hug into it, rock that hip out. From here, we're going to rest this right ankle onto the left thigh, foot planting in front of us. The hands resting behind us. We're going to take a few slow windshield wipers. So legs go over to left. Eventually, they tilt all the way, even that internal rotation, the left leg, tilt the right. So back and forth, don't feel any sense of rush. We're really trying to experience all sorts of sensations going on. Try to be present with this experience. We'll gradually take 2 more full cycles. finish the last cycle, you get to choose. Maybe you're leaving it in shin stack, right leg on top, maybe dropping to ankle or just simple cross leg. But let's take a chance to just release forward. Okay, so rising up. Now it's right leg resting on the ground. Baby cradle for left leg. Whenever that feels good, left ankle to right side, hands behind us. Start to take those windshield breaths. Drop to the right, drop to the left. Really fully embody this present moment. Four to each side. Good. Then perhaps to shin stack and release forward. More deep inhale. Nice exhale. Then we gradually return up. So I'll offer an option for Shavasana since we have all these props today. That option has the two blocks separated by about a foot or so. Nice tall height toward the foot of the mat. Bolster stacked on top of that. And then from there, the calves just simply get to rest on that pile. So that can be really calming, really comforting for low back, nice supportive, and even elevation for the legs is really helpful. So if you like that variation, take it. If there's other ways that you'd like to explore your Shavasana today, there's nothing wrong with that. And as we're starting to prepare to return to the body, one more time for Shavasana, do a moment to scan through the body. If there's anything we can do to help the body be very comfortable as we're trying to remain present with it through the Shavasana, this is the time to do so. So maybe if there's a lot of tension in neck, for instance, you take your hands up to neck, give it a brief massage. Some days there's kind of a light headache that's going on, so that could be a day to rest the hands over the eyes, feeling all those eye muscles relax. Or maybe there's other ways in which you're supporting your body right now. Whatever it is that's helpful, use those options, or just simply the release to ground to help you return. We'll be here for several minutes in Shavasana. Our goal, more than anything else, is simply presence. Stay with the breath. This inhale, this exhale. Here we begin to deepen our inhales. Deepen the exhales. Use little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel really good for the body. That's a nice fetal position if you like. Two or three more breaths until you feel ready to rise up to a comfortable seated place. With hands at the heart, we return back to the idea of the present moment. We remind ourselves to continue to return over and over and over again, because this is what really matters, this moment, how present we are with it. So with this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. You can hum now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.